All right, good morning, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the stream. How is everyone today? I hope that everyone is having a good one and is ready for a full and fun day of streams here on my YouTube channel, DSPGaming. Should be a good day with a good variety of stuff, chill stuff, and also a lot of stuff to talk about today here. I'm very excited to be talking with you guys about all this stuff going on right now in the gaming world because today was a momentous morning for game news. Jasper is excited. He's already up and running all around my chair. He's very excited to talk gaming news with all of you today. Isn't that right, Jasper Kitty? Hey, Jasper Kitty. Jasper Kitty. Jasper Kitty. Answer. Say something. Say something to the audience. Jasper Kitty. He won't say anything. Sometimes if I say Jasper Kitty like that, he'll answer. He'll literally go meow. He'll answer right back. But he won't do it this morning. Why? Because he's right here next to the mic, so he refuses to do it. He'll do it in the hallway, he'll do it in the bedroom, he'll do it in the kitchen. But if it's here, Q on stream to respond, he won't do it. Of course. Anyway, folks, welcome to the stream. Today is July 6th, 2021. It's a Tuesday. I welcome you all here. Great stuff today on stream. We've got Fallout New Vegas continuing on, which I know you guys have been craving. You guys tell me all the time, you want more New Vegas. Like, when can you play New Vegas? When's the next New Vegas stream? You know, I've been playing other things such as Mass Effect 3, Mario Golf Super Rush, but you guys want New Vegas. You crave it. You want more. Well, you're going to get more today, and it's going to be a good time because we're back in the Mojave Wasteland. We are no longer in the Old World Blues DLC, which we were in for, no exaggeration, about 5 freaking streams. We finally finished up that first DLC, and now, oh, by the way, the other DLCs for this game are much shorter. They are not 15 hours long. I was shocked that there was that much content in that DLC because I had never actually played it at length before. The other DLCs I remember are anywhere between, say, 4 hours to maybe up to 8 hours if you take your time. But there's no way we're going to be spending 15 hours in another DLC coming up here in the game. No way. But today we're going to be doing Mojave Wasteland stuff. We're already in the midst of a quest where we're fighting a whole town of infected ghouls. And we're going to be using radiation suits to investigate and find rare items. After that, we're probably going to try to find this Brock Flower Cave, which apparently has a lot of good items in it that we need to craft stim packs. And then move on from there. Will we hit the strip today? Maybe. Maybe not. It always seems we end up on a tangent, right? But it's all good because we always have fun when we do so. And I'm excited for today's stream. Jasper Kitty. Jasper Kitty. Say something. Jasper Kitty, respond. He refuses. I opened my carbonated water that has grapefruit juice in it. And now he's infatuated with it. He's staring at it. He's sniffing it. He's probably going to touch it in a second and realize it's wet on the outside with condensation. So, good stuff today. Fallout New Vegas fun. 3 hours of gameplay or more. Should be a good time. Later tonight, it is my... Oh, no, Jasper Kitty. That's bad news. You don't play with the wires. You know that. Stop that right now. You don't play with wires. Absolutely not. Okay. Later tonight, the late stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time is MLB The Show 21, which is our weekly session of baseball where I basically just focus in on interacting with you guys and having fun conversation. I mean, I do play the game, but that really usually isn't the focus of what we're doing. It's more about interaction, conversation, and having fun with you guys on the stream rather than worrying about advancement of the game, okay? So that's the late stream today, and I hope you guys will join me for that later tonight. My final consecutive streaming day of the week is tomorrow, where I will be doing more Mario Golf Super Rush, the first ever session where we're going to be going online to check out the game's multiplayer features. And I'll also be trying out a new game mode, Battle Golf, that unlocked. I didn't have it unlocked until I beat the campaign, which I beat last time around. So it'll be fun to check out the online features and see what exactly the game has to offer in an online capacity tomorrow. Okay? And then tomorrow night, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is the final stream of the week. I'm off from streaming on Thursday. When I return on Friday, it'll be the continuation of Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition paired with my weekly throwback Street Fighter session at night. And then Saturday is the big day, ladies and gentlemen. It is official. This coming Saturday, excuse me, the Fallout New Vegas fundraising marathon special event During this event, I'll be trying to raise funds to pay my bills for the month. So yes, there will be a running tips goal for the stream to try to make ends meet for this month. But in addition to that, I'll be playing Fallout New Vegas all day long. 7+ hours of gameplay. All right. Great advancement. Maybe we'll do a DLC. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just jump into the main story. We'll see. But during that event, there will also be a live episode of DSP Tries It. And during this event, I'll be ordering delivery food of something I have never done before. The two options that I am considering right now are either the fast food chain Sonic, which I have never had on stream before, ever. In fact, I've only eaten there maybe 3 to 4 times total in my entire life. And the last time was years ago. So I'd be very interested to see what Sonic is like. Maybe get a burger, a hot dog, and one of their custom drinks or something like that. Or the other option is I could order Indian food from a local restaurant, and we can try something new, like a new curry, maybe some naan bread, and things like that, which I've never also done before in DSP Tries It. Right? Uh-oh. Disconnected. That's not good. Hold on. Uh-oh. Can you guys see this? I disconnected for a sec. Weird. That was not good. No, I was not banned from YouTube. That did not happen. That was weird. It said, so here's what happened. It was a connection issue with YouTube. For those who are watching live, I don't know what just happened. I had an error in OBS. It actually said disconnected, attempting to reconnect, and then it reconnected right away. So I don't know if that was just a blip in my internet or a connection issue with YouTube. That was weird. That's the first time in the month and a half that I've been full-time streaming on YouTube that I've seen anything like that happen. It basically said somehow I lost connection with YouTube, but then it came right back. So I don't know. It looks like just a random glitch. Nothing major. If anything like that ever happens, just so you guys know. So, you know, over the years, I've had many problems with streaming and streaming services. Let's be honest here, right? There's been a lot of problems. If ever a stream goes down and it doesn't appear to come right back up, head over to my Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP, and I will let you guys know what's going on. If I'm having streaming issues, technical issues, if I got banned from a site for absolutely no good reason, like has happened multiple times on Twitch, whatever it is, I'll let you guys know, okay? Apologies that we just had that little blip. Let's hope it's just a little blip and it doesn't keep appearing today. That was a weird one. I've never seen that before. Because, see, on my end, it showed as green, meaning they didn't shut me down or anything. It showed as it was still going. But then it said disconnected, reconnecting, and then it reconnected right away and continued. So maybe it was just a little glitch there with YouTube or something. I don't know. Okay. So anyway, guys, yes, what I was saying was, live DSP Tries It on Saturday's special fundraising marathon, either Sonic fast food or Indian food. I've never done either on DSP Tries It. I feel it would be cool to do one or the other because it's a first-time thing. And what we'll do is instead of just doing one item like I would normally do for DSP Tries It, we'll do an extended episode where I will try various things. For example, if I go to Sonic, I'll get like a burger and a hot dog and a drink, maybe a side. If I go to an Indian restaurant, I'll get like a curry and maybe some naan bread and maybe another thing. And I'll try out these various things to see how they are, you see? And it should be pretty neat. I'm pretty excited for that because it's something different, okay? So I hope you guys will join me on Saturday. It's a very important day because I need to raise funds pretty badly to pay my bills this month, okay? Just being honest, I need to raise a good amount of money on Saturday to make ends meet and catch up and pay the bills this month because I've lost over $2,000 of revenue that I used to make full-time streaming on Twitch is now gone. And although I know that there will be a slow build here as I stream on YouTube and I will grow the channel, we'll have more members, we'll have more super chats, etc., it's going to be a while until we get more consistent, especially because right now there's no new releases, right? There's nothing going on in the realm of new releases until August. So because of that, I know for a fact that sadly things are going to lag in regards to that, and I need to make up for it. So if you like the content, please come by on Saturday to support the stream. And the thing is, as I said, we did a poll. I wanted to know what it was that you guys wanted to see for a fundraiser, and the options were Fallout New Vegas, Final Fantasy VII, Chrono Trigger or the classic Super Mario Brothers marathon that I've been doing months ago, and people overwhelmingly, in a majority, voted for Fallout New Vegas. They said that's what they want, more Fallout New Vegas. So I hope those who voted will come and support the stream, because I really need the help this week, okay? So, good stuff on Saturday. Then we go back to the regular schedule on Sunday. So on Sunday, it'll either be more Mass Effect or more Mario Golf. It's really going to depend on how the Mario Golf multiplayer goes on tomorrow's stream. If it goes well and people want more, then I'll do more on Sunday. If it ends up kind of being a little bit of a dud, not too exciting, then we don't have to do any more of it at all, and we can just move on and maybe balance this week between Fallout New Vegas and Mass Effect 3 and get major progress in each game. You see, the next major game coming out that I'm playing is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. That's coming out on the 16th of July. That is the next game being added to the rotation, just so you guys know. Okay? It glitched again, not on my end this time. I'm watching, and it actually did not glitch again for me. Everything is smooth on my end. So. Okay. So anyway, that's what's going on. Now. Just the Facts Man says, I'm going to shake my head if people vote for a garden variety burger or whatever at Sonic over something that's totally out of the ordinary. Well, the thing is, I agree with you. Like Indian cuisine is definitely different. Indian cuisine is something definitely outside of the normal range of what I would do. But at the same time, Sonic fast food is different too. Like, they have special burgers, they have special hot dogs, they have things that are interesting and original that you can't really get at other fast food places. It's not like, oh, the fucking Whopper, you know, it's different. They have different combination of fresh ingredients and stuff. So, either way, I'd be happy. Seriously, either way, I think either way would be a DSP Tries It. And the thing is, whatever we don't do, I could easily do on the next DSP Tries It anyway. You know, it's not a big deal. Golden Coast get the foot-long Coney hot dog at Sonic. Do the Sonic the Hedgehog themed meal. Chili dogs, onion rings, and a blue drink. We could do that. Turtle Dude says I should consider playing the Watch Dogs Legion DLC because it has characters like Aiden from the first game and Wrench from Watch Dogs 2. It's Legion gameplay with actual protagonists. No. I'm not spending any more money on that game. Hell no. The original game was so bad, there's no way I'm spending more money on it. That's crazy. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So Saturday should be exciting, and then after that we get back to normal streaming. Don't worry, there'll be 2 Danganronpa streams coming up in the next week. So we'll have Danganronpa progress, because man, if you guys missed Danganronpa V3 last night, we had the big bomb stream. Every piece of information was dropped in the plot. The revelations were hit. And quite frankly, I don't even know where they're going in the plot now, because all the questions have been answered, and man, it is a bleak reality. Let's just put it that way. So I don't know what's going to happen next in the game at all. Yeah. So we'll see. Anyway, it's going to be a great streaming week no matter what. Okay? Now, guys, remember, currently this week, the tips goals are in effect. $150 per stream. Reason being, again, I'm trying to make ends meet and pay my bills this month, and I really need the help. It'd be great if we could hit the tips goals on most, if not all, the streams this coming week. We did hit it last night on the Danganronpa stream, so thank you to anyone who was here and contributed. Today it would be great if we could hit it again. The goals are in effect. At $50 raised in tips, I will put on my Gunner glasses. For $100 raised in tips, I will put on a vest of your choice. Now, yesterday, I wore the beige and the platinum vest. So that means today, basically the red, the blue, the denim, and probably the gray would be eligible because I wore camo before that. Okay? And then at $150 raised, the total goal, cowboy hat will go on. Okay? So, good stuff. And I hope that we can make it happen. I hope we can hit all the goals today. That would help me a lot and help me to pay all these bills. So thank you in advance to anyone who is thinking of contributing. Now keep in mind, hey, you want to become a channel member? Hey, you want to do a super chat, super sticker? Those all help too. They help long term rather than short term. And I do need a lot of short term help. But if for some reason you're opting not to tip, please, all the other ways of contributions are much appreciated as well. We are trying to get 200 members here by the end of the month. We're currently at 173, so we're only 27 away. That's pretty close. If we do that, there will be a fun themed marathon coming up. And the marathon will be one of many options that I have ideas of. For example, an Indies marathon, a retrospective marathon, a Rageathon, or continuing that Super Mario Brothers marathon that I did earlier in the year. There's many ideas we can do. You guys will likely be voting on what the marathon will be if we do hit the goal. Okay, so please consider becoming a channel member. If you're not yet, there's many benefits you get, including a highlighted name in the stream chat, getting a cool chat crown badge next to your name to show how long you've been a channel supporter. In addition to that, you don't have to abide by the slow-mo rules of the chat, and you get access to a ton of emotes. So lots of benefits to being a channel member. And by the way, it's cheaper to be a channel member here than it was to be a subscriber over on Twitch. But I get the same amount of support out of it, so it's a win-win for everybody. Okay? Good stuff. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, before we get into anything, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. This is a pretty important week for me. Thank you to those who do support me this week. I've been having a lot of fun with the streams recently. Today I'm actually really pumped because not only are we doing Fallout New Vegas and MLB, which are two of my favorite streams because it's just chill fun, but there's gaming news to talk about today. And let's just get right into it. First of all, there is a state of play for Sony/PlayStation this coming Thursday. Now, sadly, I'm not here. That's my day off for the week, okay? But the state of play is going to be 30 minutes long. 9 minutes is going to feature Deathloop. And there will be no Horizon Forbidden West, no new God of War. It's basically going to be all third-party games that are going to be featured during this state of play. And that's it. So immediately people are like, oh, state of play, we're very excited. And then Sony says, well, it's none of the games that people are hyped for. And everyone's like, oh, son of a bitch, what a fucking piece of shit. Personally, for me, I like any kind of information that we can get of new games coming up because they're so scarce these days, you know? So I'm excited no matter what the information is. I'd like to hear it. But is it a little disappointing that it's not the giant exclusives? Yes. At the same time, I hope that it's good information about new upcoming games. So I won't be here to cover it live or anything, but I will talk about it on Friday's streams when I'm back and I have time to watch the content and analyze it and all of that. I'm sure we'll all be talking about it on Friday. Okay? The other big news this morning is that Sony, let's try that again. Nintendo has finally announced the Nintendo Switch Pro. Is what I would have said if Nintendo actually had done so, but instead they announced the new Switch OLED, which is basically the Nintendo Switch as it is, with zero hardware improvements, same processing power, same RAM. The only difference is the screen is slightly improved because it's an OLED screen now. The stand on the back of the Switch is bigger so that it holds the Switch up slightly better. It has a little bit more internal storage space, and they finally included a Ethernet port adapter in the dock for the console. That's literally it. So the hilarious part about this is that for the greater part of a year, Sony fanboy, I keep saying Sony, let's try this again, Nintendo fanboys, journalists, and everyone on the internet have all been going crazy about the Nintendo Switch Pro rumor. There's going to be a Switch Pro. Yo, it's going to do 4K. Yo, it's going to be better processing power. They're going to be slamming it with their first-party titles. They're going to look the bomb. It's going to compete directly with Sony and Xbox. No. Absolutely, positively not. That is not what's happened here at all. Nintendo has never really done a pro system. If you look in the history of what Nintendo does, they always, mid-console life, release a slightly improved version of something you already have. They seriously do this all the time. And for some reason, people always fall for the trick. Like, they think that there's going to be some significant improvements, when usually there aren't. Okay? Now, there is backlash all over the internet about this Nintendo OLED Switch announcement, okay? And it's funny to me because people seem to be expecting things that Nintendo never does. When has Nintendo ever improved a console and gave it better hardware midway through the life cycle? That's never happened. I mean, Sony's done it with the Pro of the PlayStation 4. Xbox did it with the Xbox what was it? Oh my god. Xbox One X and S? Yes, that's correct. Xbox One X, right? But Nintendo's never done it. What Nintendo has done is they do these incremental slight improvements. Oh, change the size of the screen. Remember when they had the DS and the DS XL, right? And, you know, even with the Switch, they've already got the Switch Lite, which is purely a handheld. Cannot be docked, right? So they've kind of already done this. The last 2-3 consoles they've worked on, they've done this, and I don't understand why people didn't know that this would kind of be what would happen. But it's pretty much exactly what's happened. So let's be honest here. Let's look step by step at each one of the improvements. The screen is slightly bigger, and it's an OLED. Okay? So the screen will be more vibrant and will be a little bit bigger. Who's going to benefit from that? People who use it as a handheld. Who will not benefit from that? People who have it docked. So immediately, some customer base will get a benefit, some won't. All right? Some people have argued that OLEDs don't look good in sunlight. They end up being more hard to see. Okay, I personally wouldn't know that because I haven't really had much experience with OLED screens in sunlight. I couldn't answer that question. But I'm just saying, okay? What else is improved? Well, the kickstand's bigger. Okay? Who would benefit from that? People who use it as a portable device and actually stand it up. Who wouldn't benefit from that? People who use it as a portable device and hold it in their hands, or people who dock it. So again, the kickstand, even less of a benefit to most of the people who use this console. Increased storage space. Who could benefit from that? Absolutely everybody. Because admittedly, the Switch has very little internal storage. For being a console, you have to buy an expansion card to really store anything on it. Having more internal storage space is good. Although 64 gigs is hilariously bad for any modern console. It's a laughable joke that they think that that's an improvement. They definitely should have done a bigger thing there, but hey, it is what it is. It's Nintendo. Tiny little improvements, right? Okay. Continuing on. What's the only other improvement? Is it battery life, which everyone wants? No. It's an Ethernet port finally included by default in the dock. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it absolutely is a true statement. The Nintendo Switch, which is a console known for multiplayer games like Mario Kart, Mario Party, Splatoon coming out soon. You know, all these games that have multiplayer, Smash Brothers, right? All multiplayer components. Up to now, the default has been using wireless internet to get on the internet for competitive play. As stupid as that sounds, yes, Nintendo was that dumb. They didn't include an Ethernet port in the dock for the original Switch. I personally had an issue with it. Luckily, I had the Ethernet adapter for my Wii and Wii U already, and I just transferred it over, and it worked with the Switch by default, thank God. But I can't imagine someone who's been using this thing for 4+ years wirelessly trying to play shit on the internet. Can you imagine how fucking laggy that experience must be? Right? So now, finally, by default, they're saying, oh, it's you plug your cord in instead. No shit, Nintendo. Like, seriously, no shit. Like, are you out of your mind? You should have had it. And again, what I will say is very matter of fact, no pussyfooting, no sugarcoating it. Every single one of the things in the Switch OLED should have been a part of the original launch Switch from the launch. There's no excuse that Nintendo didn't have these things in it. Besides the fact that they were lazy, they skimmed when they made the console, and they had the expectation that years later they were going to sell a better edition with basically things that should have been there since the get-go of the console. They knew they wanted to make extra money about 3-4 years in, so they held back on putting in default features so they could sell you those default features later on and make double money. It's disgusting, but it's a practice that Nintendo has done time and time again, and I hate to say it, the Nintendo fanboy base, not the Nintendo fans, because Nintendo fans will just be skeptical and say, I'll buy it if I need it, I won't buy it if I don't. But the fanboys, this giant group of people, alright, who buy every fucking thing Nintendo, no matter what the hell it is. These are the people who were going crazy buying fucking Amiibos for 2 years when there was nothing good to buy for the Wii U. These people will run the fuck out and buy this console even though they don't need it. They will get zero benefit from it. They will still buy it anyway. And Nintendo will continue to act this way. They will continue to do the bare minimum, if even that, because I wouldn't even consider this Nintendo OLED the bare minimum. This is giving you 4 years later what you should have had at the launch of the console. That's literally what this is. They're saying, oh, this is what you should have gotten when you paid for this years ago. Right? So what they're doing is they're essentially making the original Switch model obsolete by saying, here's a new model that has the things you should have had at launch anyway. Why on earth would you buy the old Switch model? right? And so it makes people who have the old Switch model feel like, oh no, I have a piece of obsolescence. I need to get the new console, even though you don't need it. What's the benefit? If you play this thing in docked mode, you get zero benefits. I mean that, zero. Because you probably already have an Ethernet adapter. You're not going to see the screen. You don't need the kickstand. You know what I mean? Like, you'll get no benefits at all out of this thing. The other benefit I didn't mention, slightly improved speaker performance. Apparently, they slightly increased the size of the speakers on it. So again, if you're playing in handheld and you use the speakers, you'll get that. Anything else, anyone else using it will get no benefit from it. Okay? So, the truth of the matter is, this is typical behavior for Nintendo. Why? Because they have brain controlled the fan base. I'm being honest here. They have made it, it's called Stockholm Syndrome. It's called, we don't do what you want. We don't do anything that actually gives you positive benefit. But because we have just conditioned your mind to be used to this kind of treatment, you accept it in a positive way and try to spin it in a positive way and give us your money anyway. People have been clamoring in the last several years. We want 4K. We want a better processor. We want better graphics. This console is underpowered. We're disappointed that Nintendo did this. So what do? They ignored the fan base and said, we don't give two shits what the fan base wants. Give them incremental, tiny little tweaks here and there that are not worth $350, but charge $350 because we know these idiots will pay it anyway. And the sad fact is, they will do it. They will be in line on launch day. They will be paying scalped prices for this console. This thing will sell out on launch day for absolutely no reason. Nintendo has done it. They have a fan base that no matter what they put out, whether it's actually good or a piece of fucking duty, people will line up to buy it anyway. It's just as bad as Apple. Apple that puts out the same fucking iPhone every year with tiny little tweaks. And in some cases, even worse things, like when they're removing the headphone jack but charging you more money, right? Apple gets away with it and Nintendo gets away with it. And people fucking fall for it every fucking time. All right? This console, the Nintendo OLED, is good if you don't own a Switch yet, which I can't imagine someone who's a gamer, a full-time gamer, okay, who is going to tell me that they don't have a Switch yet. That's just wild to me. I'm a full-time gamer and I don't have a Switch yet. Like, what? You don't partake in anything Nintendo. You don't partake in any of their first-party titles. You don't partake in any. You've been waiting 4.5 effing years, right? You've been waiting 4.5 years to buy the Switch. That blows my mind, but I guess some people maybe were waiting for the Switch Pro. Well, here's your Switch Pro. It ain't a Switch Pro, okay? So if you don't own a Switch, now is the time to get this, because it's the only, this is going to be the only time they're going to change it, okay? There's not going to be another Switch after this. Probably give it another 2-3 years, they're going to be a new Nintendo console, all right? We've officially at least reached the halfway point, if not even further in, okay? So, yeah, in my opinion, if you don't have a Switch, fine. Go ahead, get this new Switch. That's fine. That's, no problem. But outside of that, I mean this, I don't see this being a $350 value for a single person. Unless your existing Switch, you've played it so much in handheld mode, you've destroyed it. Like, seriously, like if the screen is scratched up, if your kickstand is snapped, right? If the speakers are blown out, okay, then get the Switch OLED, all right? But outside of that, I cannot believe that someone would think they could get a $350 value out of buying this console. There is no $350 value there. Seriously. So, anyone who has a Switch and buys this thing, if your Switch is not smashed to ribbons and falling apart at the seams, you fell for the trap. You fell for the marketing scheme. You are officially a Nintendo fanboy. You are supporting this practice. And that's the thing, too, that gets me. You'll go to social media, and you'll see everyone freaking out. No 4K, no hardware improvements, this is terrible. And then they go buy the console. So, again, I say this all the time, okay? You directly influence the way that game developers, console developers act with your dollar, with your money. When you spend money, you directly influence their actions, okay? So if you didn't buy the Switch OLED and it sat there on the shelf and they didn't sell, Nintendo would be like, oh crap, well I guess we gotta learn now. We can't just do this same crap every single console. We gotta learn, we gotta change, we gotta innovate. We gotta do better for our customers because this is not what they want. But if you run out and you buy the console, you've already made them correct. You've proven them true. They did the right thing. They gave you literally nothing and you paid them full price for it because you're stupid. I'm sorry, it's just what it is. People are just such rabid fanboys of Nintendo. They will support that. When the Wii U was failing miserably, all right, it was not selling well. The games were not selling well. People ran out and bought thousands of amiibos to support the company. So Nintendo said, even though we crapped out on the console, at least our fans support us with amiibos, so we're fine, and now we can make it through the fiscal quarter until we pump out something better. It's just, it baffles my mind. It's not what you do. When a company is making incorrect choices, you tell them that with your dollar. You don't waste your fucking money on them. And you should take your money and spend it elsewhere, somewhere where someone is going to cherish what you say and give you what you want, not ignore you. I mean, that is literally the definition of Stockholm Syndrome. Someone who treats you badly so much, but you've been actually brain conditioned to think that they're treating you well, that you want more bad treatment. You know? I want more. Here, take my money. Please keep mistreating me. Oh, slap my face. Oh, punch me in the guts. Oh, I love it. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, this is nuts. Anyone who tries to say that this Switch OLED is a good thing, I mean, unless you're part of the, 5% of people who only use it as an undocked handheld console and you've worn the shit out of your Switch and you really need a new one. I can't imagine anyone else justifying this. But they will. I'm telling you, they will. They will seriously go and buy the goddamn console. I'm telling you, this thing will be hotcakes, sold out on launch day. That's how these people act. But then they complain when things don't improve, and it's their own fault. So whenever you see a Nintendo fanboy freaking out on Twitter or whatever, laugh at them. Because they deserve it. They've made themselves into this own loop of suffering by giving their dollars to Nintendo when Nintendo doesn't listen to them. For a year, all they wanted was a Switch Pro. Now they're not getting it, but they'll still buy the new one anyway, so oh well, that's your own fault. Now, if the opposite happens and it's actually reported, oh, by the way, but this thing didn't sell very well at launch, I'd be like, hallelujah, people finally learned. People finally fucking learned that Nintendo can do some wrong and they need to improve. And by the way, I should say, people have been learning because Nintendo is currently still embroiled in this lawsuit over the Joy-Cons. Most people who own a Switch and use the Joy-Cons agree that the Joy-Cons suck and they usually break and have Joy-Con drift. And Nintendo is finally being held accountable for something for the first time like ever because they regularly release crap that doesn't work right. The Switch Pro controller was a $70 controller at launch where the D-pad doesn't work. It still to this day doesn't work. They never fixed it. So finally, at least they're being held accountable for something. But then they do something like this and watch as people just fall for the trap again. Seriously. So anyway, the point I'm making is, please guys, think for yourselves. Please guys, don't just fall for marketing. Oh my god, there's a new Nintendo console, I gotta get it, man. October, I'm the first one in line. No. Think for yourself, okay? If you're getting a benefit out of this console, you don't have a Switch at all, now's the time to buy one. Seriously, now would be a great time to buy one because you're going to get the benefits of the new console. Okay? Or you have a Switch that you use handheld all the time, you beat the shit out of it. Oh, the Switch OLED is a good choice for me. Cool. But don't just do an arbitrary hardware upgrade to appease Nintendo and line their pockets with your money so that they continue to make the same exact mistakes and continue to ignore you constantly. There will never be improvement if that is how you behave. Ever. And I hate to say it's the same thing that people have been doing with Street Fighter V over at Capcom and other games. Oh, we don't actually currently like the state of the game, but we keep lining the pockets of the game developer with money every time there's a DLC. Then they'll never improve. They'll literally never release Street Fighter 6 if people keep spending money on DLC for Street Fighter 5. It's been 5 fucking years. And they still don't have anything to show us for Street Fighter 6. Because why would they? You keep paying them for the same crap game. It's the same premise over and over. Gamers need to learn better. They need to learn to be smarter consumers. Seriously. So anyway, that's my take on it. If you disagree, that's perfectly fine. And I'm sure many of you do. And you'll be very vocal and you'll call me an asshole and a jerk and an idiot and a moron. And I'm used to it. I'm used to being the punching bag of the internet. But I had to say what I had to say today. I had to get it off my chest because I read all this morning. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I mean, for someone who's been around this industry since the 1990s and someone who has covered it for 13 years, I felt like I really had to speak my mind about this morning. I was very upset. If I didn't talk about it, it would eat me up from the inside and I would have become a shell of my former self. Okay, probably not. Probably not. But you see, I just wanted to speak my truth. I get to speak my truth like everyone else, and that's my truth. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay. All right, I'm getting calmer now. I'm calming down. I am calming down. Okay. Some people are very upset with me. I knew they would be. Michael Green says, OLEDs burn in easily. I'm not looking forward to the machine. The Vita used OLED and it already has burn-in. Oh, so it's similar to a Vita screen? See, I definitely liked the screen of the Vita. I thought that the screen of the Vita was very bright and vibrant, and the graphics were good because it was like a portable PS3. But then again, I didn't use my Vita for anything extended period of time at all. I really didn't. I only played like 3 games on it. And then my wife played Persona 4 Golden on it. And that was the only use we got out of it, so. King Ferb says, I'm assuming you're not getting one. Oh, I'm getting 3. I'm going to buy 3 of them. I'm going to buy 2 of the white and 1 of the multicolor. And I'll be the first in line. And I'm also going to buy about 17, 18 amiibos when I buy it. Plus every accessory possible because, you know, I'm a Nintendo fanboy. Of course. Yes. You know? I don't practice what I preach. I just, you know, I just do whatever. I already have the Pro Controller, but you know what? That's a good point, King Ferbs. I'm going to buy at least 2 more. 1 for each new console. Actually, 3 more. I'm buying 3, so 3 more. There you go. Windows 95 says, please don't yell anymore. I scared his little brother and he's crying. Well, I'm very sorry. As we all know, I'm a very good person at scaring little children, apparently. If you listen to the people who hate on me, apparently I'm the scourge of small children. I just run around yelling at them, slapping them left and right. What I do is once I leave my house, my day off, I leave my house and I start walking down the street, and I just start slapping children left and right into the streets, into the sidewalk. I toss them over fences. It's what I do. I'm a professional. All right? So I'm glad. I'm glad that I've stuck to my guns here in my reputation. Very nice. Oh my goodness. Okay. Shell content, I see what you're saying, and I disagree. He says, I need to bring back latest tipper to the leaderboards because he felt that when I had a latest tipper up there, it would promote tipping. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Since we're trying to do a variety of support on my streams, it's not just all about tips. I do want long-term support with things like super chats and members. I feel that having the latest super chat is a good thing. People actually, the entire time of the month and a half there, that I was just basically promoting tips and that was it. People were very upset that I basically wouldn't give any attention to people who super chatted. And I can tell you this, there actually have been an increase in super chats since I added latest super chat up there. So I think I'm just going to leave it as is for now. But I appreciate your suggestion. Of course, as we know, I'm an abusive streamer and I don't actually take in any kind of suggestions. I just ignore them. What happens is when people suggest things, I slap them in the face. And I walk down the street and I say, oh, suggestion for improvement. I slap them right in the face, throw them in the street. At least that's what my haters would say, right? I'm just this really offensive, abusive guy slapping people everywhere and tossing them over fences. All right. Very nice. All right, I think we should get to some shout-outs. Let's get to shout-outs today. Get started here. First of all, even though this person actually became a member before the stream started, I do want to give them a shout-out. Hold on, let me see if they show up on my leaderboard. I'm going to refresh my leaderboard here. They're not showing up on my leaderboard. Son of a bitch. Because we did get a new member, but now they're not showing up on my leaderboard because it happened before the stream, which sucks. I was hoping that it would load, but it didn't. Well, my apologies to the person who became a member. I can't see you right now. Sucks. I guess this is just how it works on YouTube. You have to have it open, like, when the stream is going and everything to catch it. I'm sorry. Because we're up to 173 members now. which is great. Like I said, about 27 left to go for the rest of the month. Okay. So shout out to An Sokomaru, who took me $4.20. And yesterday you said nobody will be talking about Scarlet Nexus if other high-profile games have come out. What makes you say that? A game's worth isn't measured by how high-profile it is or not. The game is well-received and is very good. I don't know. This Scarlet Nexus doesn't stand out for me. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. When you have an art style that's like anime-ish and it looks like 10 other games that have come out over the last couple of years, even if the game might have outstanding gameplay, and ends up being a standout game, it just doesn't stand out that much for me. I'm just being honest here. Maybe I'm biased towards it or whatever, but like I looked at that game and I was like, okay, the combat looks okay, and maybe it's a good RPG, maybe it's not, but doesn't look like anything outstanding or original that I would want to play, especially when I'm amidst other projects that are quite lengthy. And again, this is not me talking shit about the game because I never played it. This is my initial reaction to seeing footage of the game. I watched 2 trailers and a little bit of gameplay footage of it. And I said the combat looks like it could be good, but this looks like something that would be incredibly repetitive and not exactly entertaining for my audience, especially because it's another lengthy RPG. It just seems like every game these days are insanely lengthy, grindy style games. And there hasn't been anything of any type of variety besides maybe Ratchet and Clank was a little different. But it just seems like it's the same kind of stuff coming out now. How many lengthy RPGs am I going to play? I have to do variety. I can't just keep doing the same shit over and over. See, now, High's Darkness says, are you excited for Tales of Arise? You want to know the truth? Yes, I am, and here's why. Because I've played the Tales of series before. Multiple times. Tales of Vesperia, still my favorite. But I've also played Tales of Exilia, which I thought was pretty good. I played Tales of Symphonia. I didn't get too far, being that it was an older game in the series. And at the time, people wanted to see me play other stuff, so I kind of dropped it and never went back to it. But the series is a series I'm familiar with, and I likely would enjoy that more because I already have an established gameplay experience with that series, as opposed to this new game, Scarlet Nexus. What is it? I don't know. New IP, right? And just didn't stand out for me. It just doesn't stand out for me at all. Looks too much like other stuff I've played. Okay? Okay, so thank you, Onsukumaru, for the first tip. Then Quentin Tarantino tipped me $5, and he says, just caught up with your Danganronpa playthrough. You're thinking of the famous Tim Roth and Harvey Keitel ending scene from Reservoir Dogs, but they were actually referencing the equally famous Steve Buscemi and Harvey Keitel standoff scene. Time for a rewatch, perhaps. Let me think about that one. The standoff scene, isn't that the scene where Steve Buscemi says, we know that this is a cop or a rat or whatever, and we want to kill him? But then Harvey Keitel's like, no, I don't believe you. I don't think he's a rat. I would never believe that because I'm personally know this guy. I just had these conversations with him and I trust him. And so they had that standoff. Is that what that scene was supposed to be? I mean, admittedly, I haven't seen that scene in a long time. I haven't watched the movie in many years. Maybe that's the scene that it's supposed to be then. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yes, I did spell Mojave incorrectly in the stream title because I was spelling it phonetically instead of spelling it correctly. There you go. Do you want me to change it? I could change it. Let me fix this. I can change. I can turn this H into a J now. La 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 la. There we go. Done. Windows 95 says, could you say sorry to my little brother? Might make him feel a little bit better. Just call him little guy or something. Thanks, man. I don't want him to be afraid of you. All right. Sorry to my little brother. Might make him feel a little better. Just call him little guy or something. Thanks, man. I don't want him to be afraid of you. There, I said what you wanted me to say. Thanks. Choco Boko tipped me $5. He says, hey, man, why do I need to Switch when I still got my PS1 with a ton of JRPGs? Just save my money. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just old school on gaming. But yeah, Nintendo fanboys are doo-doo heads. I'm not saying they're doo-doo heads. I'm just saying they condition themselves for failure. Because they all screamed that they wanted a Switch Pro, and they got a Switch OLED instead because they're going to buy it anyway. If they all gathered together and said, all right, for this first time ever, we're not going to play the game of Nintendo. Instead, we're just going to say, listen, you didn't give us what we wanted. You completely ignored our feedback for the last year and a half. Since that's the case, screw you, we're not going to buy this console. And if the console did not fly off shelves and did not sell well, Nintendo would be like, okay, we're out of touch, we got to fix stuff, right? That's what happens. If you reward behavior that is not in line with what you want as a customer, you will never get behavior that's in line with what you want as a customer. You're rewarding no matter what they do. So why would they put effort, right? Why would they try when they don't have to try and they still get your dollar? You're making it way too easy. Seriously, I mean that. You're making it way too fucking easy for them to just get over on you. You know? Okay. So anyway, guys, that's my opinion on the subject. Oh, that is correct. Turtle Dude says, as of today, A Plague Tale Innocence now has a free PS5 upgrade. They replaced the rats with turtles. Oh, it's a turtle mode. Very nice. Turtle power. That's cool. Burdock Root Farmer says, I'm surprised you have 25 hours into Fallout New Vegas. You've barely done much of the base game, only Old World Blues. The playthrough could be several months long. You're right. I'm fully expecting that this will go all the way through July and into August and probably finish sometime in August. That's what I'm thinking. Because keep in mind, this month, here's the focus. Fallout New Vegas, Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition, and coming up, Zelda Skyward Sword. That's it. There's nothing else going on in July. So that's literally my main gameplay stream focus. That's okay, though, because these are lengthy games that need extra time, and people are really enjoying this playthrough in particular. So I don't think people care that I have to play so much more of it. You know, people are cool with that. Correct. Michael Kane says, not to mention the cost of this new Switch OLED is $349. It's the same ballpark as the Series S or PS5 digital. Right. So you could get a PS5 digital for $399 or a fucking Switch OLED for $350. They're not even in the same realm. Seriously, it's... Oh, my God. Harry Butthole has tipped me $4.20 and says, I just got a job. Hope you're well, Phil. Oh, congratulations. That's good to hear. I'm very happy to hear that you got a job. Really, I am. And I hope that it works out for you and it ends up being something that you enjoy. Very nice. I'm very happy for you. By the way, I've noticed over the course of this pre-stream that the stream has been finicky, and there's been many times where it keeps saying reestablishing connection or whatever. I don't know why, but it seems to keep doing that. And again, it's not on my end. From what I can see, my connection is smooth in the green. So I don't know if there's just an issue with YouTube servers today or whatever. But it looks like there will be a little bit of fluctuation in the stream today, and there's not much I can do about it. It just seems to be an ongoing issue. I will do my best. If I see anything that I can do on my end to tweak it and make it work better, I will. But from my end, everything looks the same. It's just I keep saying, oh, lost connection, regain connection. Okay. Well, I didn't do anything. So... So, you know, Golden Colts just said something, and I think this is, like, almost common sense, but, so listen to this. Golden Colt says, in the deadliest and most violent weekend this year in Chicago, 92 people have been shot over the long 4th of July weekend, 16 of them killed. When will the madness end? It's not just Chicago, it's nationwide in the United States. The reports are in that this 4th of July weekend was the most violent weekend of the year. Many, many violent acts and many deaths. But do you want to know why? It's common sense. This is the first weekend where everyone's open. Like, almost every single state has full open, no lockdowns or anything, so people are finally going out of their homes for the first time in a long time. I'm not saying this is a good statistic. This is a terrible statistic. We don't want crime. We don't want people dying. But at the same time, people have been locked up for a year, so of course the first weekend that's a holiday weekend that everyone can go out, there's going to be an increase in violent crime and issues. Like, it's kind of common sense, but this is... exactly what the media does is they report common sense as fanaticism or dramaticism to try to get some kind of crazy headline when it's just common sense that this would happen. Pretty stupid that they do that. What's for supper? Nothing special. Today, I'm having a frozen meal because today is the last day of the week where my wife is at work. She's actually going to be home tomorrow to cook us some nice gumbo tomorrow. But today is the last day, and at this point, it was like so many meals that we had made and everything, and we were just like, just a frozen meal. I think I'm having like frozen eggplant parm or something like that. And the thing is, I don't even want to use the oven. It takes too long. Likely, I'm going to end up tossing it in the microwave. It's going to be like rubber. But it is what it is. You can't have a good high-class meal every day, I guess, right? All right. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so far for a great pre-stream. I think it was fun. I got to get some stuff off my chest. I'm going to take a break now to use the restroom and get ready for the stream. I hope you guys will do the same. Grab a drink, grab a snack, use the restroom yourselves, whatever you need to do, and I'll be back in a few minutes with Fallout New Vegas. Thanks for everything, and hopefully we'll have a great stream, productive stream, supportive stream, and good stuff right around the bend, all right? I'll see you guys in a few.